So this usually isn't the type of content I put out, but I thought I wanted to change it up a bit. And I also wanted to talk about this one individual specifically. And that would be DarkSydePhil, or dspgaming. If you guys don't know who this dude is, he's basically a guy who's been doing Let's Play content since 2008. And he's been quite infamous over the years. What I mean by that is, well, he kind of did a certain thing on live stream. He was choking his chicken.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello.
But that's not what I'm going to address today. I mean, that's been done to death. I'm going to talk about something else that's been done to death. And that's him begging. Yes, so he's known for basically two things on the internet. One is begging for money, and the other two is choking the chicken. But what makes this the most bizarre case of internet e-begging is that DSP pretty much begs for money every single day.
Please, if you can, support the stream, all right? And, you know, in a few ways. Number one, our goals. Number one, my goal for today was 490 members. We got like 4. So we went from like 475 up to like 479. So we're getting there, but we did not get a lot of members earlier on the Like a Dragon Guidance stream. It would be great tonight if you're here and you're in the mood for supporting the community. Maybe give some members to the channel. That would be amazing. 'Tis the season. I'm sure that your fellow viewer would really appreciate that. And it would help out the channel. That's number one. Number two, to hit that tier 1 tips goal. All right? Recently, I've had some days where tips have been absolutely outstanding and other days where they're quite slow. And some days they're just kind of in the middle. I've had a few slower days this week. And so it would be good tonight if we hit that tier 1 tips goal. I did narrowly hit it on the first stream. It would be great if tonight we could hit the tier 1 tips goal, because then it would at least make it an average day where I hit the tier 1 goal on both streams. All right? Yeah, it is concerning that we're in the busiest time of the year, and the tips have slowed down quite a bit. I don't know what to say about that, besides it's just a fact. It sucks, but what can I do about it besides just push forward? So please, if you can tonight, consider either a membership, a gifted membership, or a tip. Those would all help out the channel a lot, okay?
Phil has been doing this for many, many years, and it doesn't seem like he wants to change. And the thing about Phil is, why does he have to beg for money every day? Is because he used to be in a good position where he was popular on YouTube. He had 200,000 subscribers at the time. That's when he started growing his channel. But I think for years now, DSP Gaming has just been stagnant for the longest time. And there has been a lot of times where DSP has been getting himself into trouble, like saying racial slurs back in the day, or like getting his Twitch partnership taken away. He's just losing ad revenue for like the most amount of time. And with his content himself, it's just, his content is not really that interesting. He never really edits his videos, and all it is just him just barely giving any commentary. He's not really an entertaining person per se. All he does is just sit there, maybe like snort or burp, and then another part is just him begging for money. That's pretty much his content. It's just really not that interesting. And with Phil, he just begs for money because no one would be willing to give him that money. And it's just, he relies that solely because he just loses AdSense from his YouTube account because he just doesn't get that any views anyway. And I just don't understand how someone could just live with himself and sleep well at night knowing that this is what someone does every day, is just beg for money every single day from his fans. And when he doesn't get that money, he gets really mad and he just yells at people about it, especially with this scorn clip right here.
All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm frustrated for 2 reasons. Reason number one, because yeah, the game does suck. I really did not like tonight's stream. And in addition to that, as you guys can see, I stayed extra late for you guys, and basically it amounted to nothing. No one's really supported, which pisses me off. It does. That I'm playing a game, obviously it's frustrating. A lot of people showed up to watch it because you saw how frustrating it was, and no one supported. Yeah, that does upset me, okay? It would have been one thing if I'm staying late and people are laughing, having a good time, and a few people are at least supporting the stream, but no one did. And that really upsets me. I'm going to hope that tomorrow when I finish it, there will be some support. Because it is pissing me off that I just stayed extra late and I got nothing for it. You know, the game's not even good. You know, if this were me, I'm not even exaggerating. If this were me not streaming, playing this, I would have just turned the game right off and said, fuck this, I'm not playing this anymore. But the fact that I'm now 5 hours into it, obviously I want to finish it. You know, but I toughed it out for you guys tonight and I got nothing out of it. But a bag of fucking frustration. And that pisses me off.
I mean, that's just mask come off right there. I think Moist Critical said it the best. It's just disgusting how greedy this dude is. And you're just thinking, okay, well, if he makes a lot of money just by begging for his fans, which I don't know how these people still give this dude money. For those who still give this guy money, you gotta be kidding me, because I don't know how you can see through this guy's lies and manipulation, because he could just get a real job and, you know, make the money on his own. I don't think Phil even understands what it's like to actually earn $1 instead of just having it given to him, right? Because he just has no respect for his viewers. He treats them all like shit, and he just expects money out of them. They're just all ATMs, according to Phil. Another thing that I really dislike about how Phil begs for money is that how he uses his money. You know how people, when they get paid, they use it for everyday use, you know, going to the grocery store, paying off your bills. That's what pretty much Phil just rubs into your face every day. He's just like, guys, I need that money. I need the money to pay my bills. Yeah, I need it so bad. But it's just, you don't know exactly what Phil does behind the scenes with that money. And I can tell you what he does, mostly of it, is he spends it on a gacha mobile game known as WWE Champions. And I know how much Phil wants to deny that he does not play WWE Champions, but it's just like, we have proof that he does. There's many videos that document him playing these mobile games and spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on this game. So the fact that Phil will just sit down and beg for money as if he doesn't spend it on a gacha mobile game and doesn't admit that he has an addiction to it is just disgusting. Phil lies about everything. And it's just like, you know, he'll say over and over again, it's like, guys, I don't play WWE Champions. These idiots keep telling you this, but it's not true. But the thing is, it is true. But Phil will just keep lying about it because he doesn't want those people to just stop giving him money. Like, there's people that will just come onto his boring gameplay streams every day, and they'll tip him like 50 or even up to $100. There's like, he's only supported by like 4 people on each stream. Dramatically, it gets less with time, thankfully, because people are more seeing through this guy's bullshit. But it's just like, I don't get how people could still support this type of behavior. Like, Phil is just a terrible person. This is the type of guy that will manipulate you into getting what he wants. He does this every single day. He'll guilt trip people into just giving you more money. And no matter what you give him, it's never enough. You'll just keep handing him money, and it's like a homeless person. You give a homeless person like $10, and then the homeless guy will get mad at you. It's like, why not $50? Why don't you give me more? It's like, you can't be this entitled with money. It's beggars, you know the saying, beggars can't be choosers? Yeah, it's exactly the case here. But it's just Phil thinks he's entitled to other people's money, in which he really isn't. It's not the viewer's job to just give him money. It's just like, we all have lives of our own. We all have working jobs. Some of us don't even have money at all, so we can't really give anybody else money over the internet. It's just, I don't understand how Phil expects people to just give him money like this every single day. Especially due to the fact that he doesn't even have that many viewers either. He only has like 200, 300 most average per stream. He streams like twice a day, 6 days a week, and he's expecting like $400 a day from it. And I just don't understand how someone can have these high expectations when your content itself isn't even that entertaining. he's not really doing anything different compared to like other streamers that are more successful than him. I just don't understand why Phil can't just get a normal job, like a normal 9 to 5. He'll always just have that excuse saying like, you know, he can't get a normal job because it doesn't make as much as him streaming. But the fact that he begs for money every day and he expects tips just kind of disproves that. Like, he has to keep pushing people to give him money when he could just earn that money himself. Like, I could give Wings of Redemption an example. Like he used to DoorDash on the side before trolls kind of like kicked him off of DoorDash. But it's like, you know, DSP doesn't really have an excuse. He could just like lay low and just work a part-time job and then just leave streaming to his side. It's like, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Your boy doesn't make that much money on the internet, but it's just, you know, it's whatever. Whatever I make, I take what I can get. But Phil is someone who just thinks that whatever money he gets, it's never enough. He just keeps wanting more. That's how greedy this dude is. I think this dude is definitely greedy than Bad Bunny. And Bad Bunny is definitely a real shit human being. She's like this bitch. Like, people call her the female DSP. But I highly doubt that Bad Bunny, like, she doesn't beg as much as Phil does. And like with Phil, like, I could name so many lolcows, and to say like who begs the money for most, it's not Wings or Boogie. I think Phil begs more than Wings and Boogie combined. And it's just on a daily basis. Like, think of it, it's just like, he's never gonna go away either. He's never gonna change his ways. So the fact that Phil will just sit there every day doing his crap gameplay streams, which no one cares about, by the way. They usually just tune in for him to, like, you know, complain about stuff or get mad or just go on toxic rants. Like, there's mostly detractors in his chat. They'll just sit there and just watch him for just doing the shitty stuff that he does. It's really, like, it's mind-boggling that you see someone like this exist because, you know, people are saying like, oh, if you don't like it, you just don't watch him, right? That should be the case. But with Phil, it's just people watch him because he is such a train wreck. He is like someone you just can't look away from. It's just someone like this, it's just so fascinating. It's like with Chris Chan. You're either going to get the people that are going to be like, oh, Chris is such an idiot, right? I want to keep making fun of him. But then there's the type of people that are just genuinely fascinated with Chris. I feel like that's what happens with Phil too. It's just, Phil is just another Chris Chan, but he's just a gaming Chris Chan that just begs. But he doesn't do as, you know, as shitty stuff as Chris Chan. I mean, DSP is just nothing more than a money-hungry piece of shit, and he just jerks off on live stream too, and it's just really the general formula with Phil. It's like not much is really going to change with this guy. And the fact that I don't understand how this dude still exists after 15 years on YouTube, and he can't take the hint that he does not admit that this guy is like, he's his own lolcow. Like, people will watch him just for the toxic stuff and not for his gameplay. And it's just like, there's really no redeeming qualities about Phil. There really isn't. Like, he just uses people for money. Even like scandals he'll do. He'll scam people out of money. He'll raise $2,000 just to reveal that he has a cat. Right? Or he wants to raise $16,000 for his back taxes. He wants to pay off his back taxes to the government, but he just uses that money to pay off a wedding and just flying over to see his parents. It's like, this dude just lies all the time, and there's so many countless shitty things that Phil has done, and it's just, if I go over them, we'll be here all night. There's actually many documentaries about Phil, and I think that if you see like the Down the Rabbit Hole or the Secret Limited video or even the newest Turkey Tom documentary on what Phil has done to get his viewers against him, it just goes down this rabbit hole so long that you'd be here hours upon hours with DSP, and it's just, there's something new about, you know, the shitty things he does every day when his content just stays the same. That's what's confusing. How does that shit even happen? I just don't get it. And there's detractors out there. There are people that clip this dude, make fun of him, and post it on every day about YouTube. And I think Phil is like one of those cases where he will just never change his ways despite all the constructive criticism. Like, if he follows what, you know, detractors say and how he would change his ways, I think he would do better on YouTube. But Phil will never admit that because he just has a big ego. And that's what really makes me dislike Phil. It's like, yeah, when I discovered this dude, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But the more shitty things that he does every single day, like 2023 has been so long that just DSP just keeps doing shitty thing after shitty thing, and bad things keep happening to this dude. Like, he declared bankruptcy, or he lost his Twitch partnership, or I don't know, trolls stopped having his wife on stream. It's just regular stuff like that. And it's just, Phil doesn't understand that he himself is the main source of what happens to him. He doesn't have anybody to blame but himself. But the problem is, Phil does that. Phil will always blame everybody, and nothing is ever this dude's fault, which pisses me off. I just don't get why someone has a mindset like this. It's bizarre. Where the hell did he get this mindset? Nobody I've ever known has ever had an entitled attitude like DSP does. And this dude is like over 40 years old, and he just lives in this little bubble. He has like the mindset of like a 7-year-old child who just wants to, like, he'll just throw a fit if he doesn't get what he wants. It's really that bad. And the fact that I tune in onto Twitter or, you know, YouTube talking about like detractor stuff, what's new with Phil every single day, it's just a new case study about the mind of this guy and why he has this type of shitty personality. But I'm getting way too much into it, man. It's just, my point being, DSP is a greedy asshole. He uses his fans for whatever he wants. And he's never going to change. No matter how much he says he changes for the better, it's a load of shit. And Phil, I think Phil knows it, but he just wants to like get people to think that he's a good person. But in reality, he does all this shit behind the scenes. And like, I just don't understand why someone like this is like this shitty, right? It's honestly crazy. This is how Phil stands out between other YouTubers. And it's just, I wish I was proven wrong that Phil would change, but the fact is, he's not. And that's why so many people hate him. That's really my take on what I think of DarkSydePhil. If you want to see another video like this, I would be happy to. Maybe next time I'll cover Wings of Redemption, or maybe I'll cover the Boogie situation, or what's been going on with other crappy things that happen on the internet that maybe I'll give my take on. But I'm kind of new to this commentary thing, so I want people to really let me know on what you think. I know this is not like a general thing I like doing. I usually do like gameplay stuff, but hey, I like branching out there. Let me know what you think about this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good night, everybody.